Digital cameras in the past 5 years had so much technological advancements that many of us started using our digital and mirrorless cameras not only for photography but also for video production, video podcasts, vlogging, documentaries, run and gun type situations. While there is not much needed to take a good photograph besides a camera and a lens, there are more pieces of gear that are needed to be attached to the camera in order to successfully record and produce a high quality video. Problem with that is that those different peripherals need to be attached to something. By default, most cameras are limited to and don't have many attachment points, so to address that problem, different companies started to produce camera cages that come with different attachment points. For handles, for Arca Swiss quick release plates, for cold shoe mounts, and quarter 20 screws to mount things like on camera lights or microphones, external batteries, solid state drives, and so forth. So SmallRig is one of those leading brands that manufacture camera cages for cameras like Nikon, Canon, Sony, Fujifilm, and others. While SmallRig have been producing various camera cages for Sony, Blackmagic, and Canon cameras, Nikon cameras haven't truly been known for its superior video recording features until the release of the Nikon Z9 camera that surpassed many leading brand camera manufacturers. And that's when the world stopped and started saying, wait a minute, Nikon Z9 gives me more than my current camera. So the eyes of the world turned to Nikon Z9, so are the eyes of this SmallRig company. This video is not about Nikon Z9, but rather what Z9 gave us, that superior autofocus and image quality that trickled down to other mirrorless cameras such as Nikon Zf and Nikon Z8. While the ZF is more of a retro style looking camera, mimicking Nikon FM2 camera, its video features are outstanding for the price. SmallRig saw an opportunity for the ZF camera and created a cage for it, so here is one. Today in this video, I'm going to review and share my personal opinion about the SmallRig cage for the Nikon ZF. And you'll be the one to decide whether you need one or not. So please let me know in the comments below. I know, some of you are not happy that someone would attach a cage to this beautiful looking retro style camera, but you are not the only people who gets a voice in this universe. There are those who love this retro looking camera and want to use it for video productions and need to attach other accessories to accomplish this difficult task of video production. But you know what's not difficult? Is to hit that like button, and it is right there just below this frame. And while you're there, consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, as it allows me to make more videos like this for viewers like you. So thank you. So SmallRig sent this cage to me for review and my honest opinion. So moving forward, I will be sharing my thoughts and my thoughts only. So let's dive right in. The first noticeable thing about this cage is that it comes in one piece. So there's no need to assemble like other cameras, like other camera cages that you may come in 3 or 4 pieces where one needs to screw it together. One nice gesture about this cage is that the grip is made out of ebony wood, and from what I understand, the wood handle may have grain and color differences, which is depending on the time of production because it is made of natural ebony wood. After taking a closer look and using it, while it looks and feels nice, it is a bit slippery, and I would not recommend holding this for an extended period of time. However, this cage was designed in mind for video production, so most people will have this cage either stationary on a tripod or mounted to a gimbal. This camera cage comes with 2-point locking system. One attachment of the camera comes via a quarter 20 screw on the bottom, and the second one locks one M2.5 screw on the side of the camera through the D-ring attachment. Probably the most challenging part about mounting this cage to Nikon Zf is to remove actually the D-ring that comes with the camera. This cage includes a SmallRig Allen wrench, which is magnetically mounted to the bottom part of the cage. Also, this cage is integrated with a quick release plate for Arca Swiss tripods. So if you need to go from a mounted camera to a handheld situation, you can do that quickly. One of the things that I personally curious about was whether the brass dials on a Nikon Zf camera would be covered by the cage. And if those are covered, how am I supposed to turn my dials? Well, SmallRig thought about that as well and added the dial release buttons, one to change the shutter speed and one to change the ISO dial. What I appreciate here is that SmallRig actually matched aesthetically these dial release buttons to the front function button and the lens release button. So nice job from that aspect. So the way it works, you just need to press on this dial release, which pushes down on the spring mechanism of the camera brass dial. It is a smart move, so I give 2 thumbs up to SmallRig for doing that. If you are thinking of using this cage for photography purposes only and would like a grip, I suggest that you stick with an L-shaped SmallRig grip, because this cage restricts your access to the shutter button. Don't get me wrong, you can still press the shutter button when you have the cage on, it's just not as ergonomic and natural for your finger. As far as access to the side doors to gain access to the headphone jack and mic ports, this is not an issue with this cage. It is also not an issue to access the switch from the video to photo modes and to black and white modes. Because the on and off label on this camera is blocked by the top portion of this cage, SmallRig added the on and off label to the top of the cage when looking down at the camera. The SmallRig cage for the ZF also comes with holes to attach your shoulder or wrist straps in case someone would need to do that. The only need I personally see for that function on this cage if someone is hand holding the camera for video and needs a third point of contact to your body to stabilize the footage. But the ZF already has a stable IBIS, so I'm not sure if I'll be using those strap holes. There are also plenty of 3/8/16 threaded holes on both sides of the cage to mount handles and other accessories. One obvious benefit of a cage is an extra cold shoe mount to provide extra attachment, such as a small LED light or a microphone or perhaps an external monitor. One of the questions some of you may have, can you use the FTZ V1 adapter with a cage? And the answer is yes. While there's a small lip on a SmallRig cage to hold the camera in the front, it is not preventing one from using the FTZ V1 adapter with a foot. Obviously, the FTZ V2 adapter, the one that does not have a foot, will work just as fine. Access to the battery is the same as for the L-shaped grip. However, access to the SD card while the cage is attached, well, what should I say? Go see my video about the problem that I have with an L-shaped grip and then see the video about the solution to that problem when it comes to removing the SD card from the camera. So overall, what do I think about this SmallRig cage for the Nikon Zf? I like it. I actually like it a lot. I like the way it looks. I like the grip portion of this cage, which is a natural ebony wood. I like its stealth looking presence, and what I like the most is that Nikon Zf is a great camera for video. Top-notch autofocus, H.265, over 2-hour record limit, and now there's a cage that would also allow expanding its use for video, attaching a top handle, maybe side grips, small LED lights, maybe a microphone to the cold shoe mount, just to mention a few. So SmallRig, nicely done. I hope you found this video educational and a bit entertaining. I would appreciate if you hit the like button, Subscribe and share this video with others who may want to consider expanding within their video department using this beautiful Nikon Zf camera. In return, this will allow me to make more videos like this for viewers like you. Thank you.